Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into an absolutely incredible intersection where modern technology completely collides with ancient wisdom. We usually think of the words we speak as just communication, right? Just air vibrating through our vocal cords to get a message across. But the sources we're unpacking today reveal a much deeper, hidden power of sound and frequency. We're going to look at how acoustic energy has actually been used both in jaw-dropping modern scientific demos and in ancient philosophies to literally alter physical reality.
All right, part 1, the scientific miracle of Melbourne.
So let me throw a kind of wild question your way right out of the gate. Do the words we literally speak out loud actually possess the physical power to, move or stop real-world objects? I mean, we usually separate the idea of sound from physical force. Talking about moving things with just your voice sounds like straight-up science fiction or magic. But what if it's purely just a matter of physics and frequencies?
Well, to answer that, picture this. You're standing in a massive, buzzing crowd on a super busy street in Melbourne, Australia. The atmosphere is tense. Out of nowhere, a car is just tearing down the open road at full speed. But, and here's the crazy part, it is completely driverless. There is literally no one behind the wheel. The crowd is just watching in absolute disbelief as this heavy, dangerous piece of machinery hurtles forward on its own, looking totally out of control.
Now, let's think about the number 4 for a second, because in this story it stands for 4 specific letters, H-A-L-T, halt. As this driverless car is speeding down the street, an unseen man speaks that single 4-letter command into a microphone, and I kid you not, the second that word leaves his lips, the speeding car stops dead in its tracks. No human foot slamming the brakes, just a spoken word.
Which brings us to Section 2, the mystery of sound and science. Right, so this wasn't some magic trick, and it definitely wasn't an illusion. It was a precise, meticulously planned scientific demonstration by 2 inventors named Brahm and Neat. They basically wanted to prove the immense, untapped capability of sound waves when you properly harness and direct them. So here is exactly how they pulled it off. The guy's spoken word hit this tiny matchbox-sized transmitter. That transmitter instantly converted the acoustic sound into electromagnetic radio waves broadcasting on a very specific frequency. Underneath the dashboard of that speeding car was a specialized control unit that received that precise frequency and literally physically engaged the car's brakes and steering. The voice literally became a physical force mechanism.
Now, the crowd was obviously stunned. They thought they were witnessing an unbelievable miracle. But the folks who actually understood the underlying mechanics, they realized something way more profound. This staggering display in Melbourne was merely a tiny spark, like a microscopic fraction of the absolute physical, penetrative, and creative power that spoken sound holds across the universe. Think about it. If a simple radio frequency can stop a ton of moving metal, what else is sound capable of?
So the big takeaway here is that this event perfectly illustrates what ancient philosophies refer to as Shabda Vigyan, which translates to the science of sound or the science of words. It's a field where our modern physics is really just scratching the surface. Shabda Vigyan basically posits that acoustic frequencies don't just exist to be heard by our ears. They hold the actual structural power to interact with, shape, and alter both physical and cosmic realities.
Okay, moving right along to Section 3, the ancient science of mantras. You see, long before anyone was inventing transmitters or dashboard control units, ancient Indian seers and philosophers had already mastered this exact science millennia ago. When you compare these 2 concepts, it's actually uncanny. The ancient application of mantra vidya, the science of mantras, operates on the exact same fundamental principles as those modern radio frequencies used in the Melbourne experiment. In both scenarios, a specific sound is generated, it travels as a wave or vibration, and it interacts with the receiver to create a tangible real-world outcome.
But here is where modern science kind of hits a wall trying to catch up with ancient wisdom. Sure, modern science can easily measure radio waves on a screen, but it struggles with mantras because it can't easily quantify the human element. The sources highlight that a mantra's effectiveness heavily relies on shraddha and vishwas, the intense faith, devotion, and belief of the practitioner. And these aren't just warm, fuzzy feelings, okay? In the science of sound, they are the essential energetic drivers. They're the amplifier. The absolute intensity of the speaker's belief dictates exactly how fast and how powerfully a mantra's frequency will alter reality.
This profound truth was captured so beautifully in the epic Ramayana by the poet Tulsidas. He wrote a line dedicating his reverence to the divine entities Bhavani and Shankar. but he specifically equated them to the very embodiment of Shraddha and Vishwas, faith and belief. It's a brilliant way of showing that, in this ancient framework, belief isn't just a state of mind. It's literally viewed as a divine, cosmic force that you absolutely need to activate the true power of any word or mantra. Without that internal amplifier, a mantra is just a sound. But with it, it becomes a key to the cosmos.
You know, this actually explains why casually spoken words, from folks who are just distracted by everyday worldly attachments, hold practically zero weight. We all know people who complain or curse constantly, yet nothing happens, right? But words spoken during a state of extreme emotional intensity, which the text calls pav samvedana, those carry an absolutely immense energetic load. Whether it's a deep blessing from a joyous heart or a terrible curse from someone in pure agony, words spoken at the absolute peak of human emotion can spontaneously alter reality because their frequency is being massively amplified by that emotional state. In fact, the legendary mystic poet Kabir issued a pretty chilling warning about this very frequency science. He warned that you should never, ever torment the oppressed or the suffering. Why? Well, he used this amazing analogy. Just like a bellows made of dead animal skin can blow air hot enough to turn solid iron into ash in a furnace, the agonized sigh of a truly broken and oppressed person carries a physically destructive vibration. Their extreme pain acts as the ultimate amplifier, turning their mere breath into a frequency that can literally dismantle the life of the tormentor. It's a wildly powerful lesson in the physics of human empathy.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Cosmic Vibrations and Thoughts.
So, how are you interacting with this exact science every single day, whether you realize it or not? We've talked about spoken words and intense emotions, but the science of sound goes way deeper than what is just spoken aloud. Ancient seers understood the universe as this giant interconnected web. They believe that every single word we speak acts exactly like a stone thrown into a still pond. The splash doesn't just stay in one place, right? It sends these continuous, rippling microvibrations across the entire surface of the water. In the exact same way, your words send microvibrations across the entire cosmic ether. Every single sound you make contributes to the invisible acoustic architecture of the universe.
And here is where it gets really wild, because this applies directly to our minds. According to this ancient science, our thoughts are not just random, accidental sparks firing off inside our skulls. They are actually accumulated cosmic vibrations that have literally existed since the dawn of time. Our human brain basically acts just like that dashboard receiver in the Melbourne car. It catches frequencies. This means our minds are entirely capable of intentionally catching specific frequencies and, more importantly, broadcasting powerful, continuous thought streams back into the universe, even in total silence. You don't even need to open your mouth to alter the cosmic frequency. Your concentrated thoughts are literally doing it right now.
So knowing that your thoughts and your words are literal, scientific frequencies that are actively shaping the physical and cosmic reality around you, I want to leave you with this one final powerful question to ponder. What frequencies are you broadcasting into the universe today? Are you just sending out static, negativity, and noise? Or are you intentionally broadcasting highly charged frequencies of belief, faith, and creation? The transmitter is always on, folks. The choice of the frequency is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.